Good pause YouTube. How's it going, everybody? Have for y'all today the team builder for week 4 of PGBL season 2. This week we are facing the Oregon Ducklets, coached by JohnnyGB. Now, if you may have missed our previous battle, a link to that should be somewhere on the screen or down in the description for you guys to go check out. Also check out our opponent, JohnnyGB. Very solid player, even though currently he is, I believe, 0-3 in the PGBL. He has a godly tier matchup going into this week 4 game, and if I'm keeping it honest with you guys and keeping it 100, I really do not expect us to pull out a W this week. And this is kind of like the dark side or the bad side of draft league format. This is one of those matchups where it doesn't matter what combination of 6 Pokemon I bring, my opponent's matchup is so good that they can bring any 6 Pokemon and beat whatever 6 Pokemon I potentially want to bring. And that is really bad. That's why I really feel like we're not gonna win this week. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not heading into this match thinking, alright, I'm gonna try and lower the score and lose by as low as I possibly can. No, I'm still gonna be trying my best to hopefully win it and pull out another victory so we can continue our little winning streak and make us 4-0 instead of 3-1 heading into week 5. So the very scary thing about this matchup is that look at Flame Orb, Marvel Scale, Milotic, and then look at the rest of my team. In my opinion, Flame Orb, Milotic with Recover, Scald, Toxic, and Haze is an absolute no-brainer in this match. Like, that Pokemon alone deals with so many of my setup potential Pokemon, or just tanks so many hits. And I guess he could possibly have Ice Beam over Haze, but I really don't think that that is the way to go, because if I bring like Sub-Combine Necrozma or like Sub-Curse Snorlax and he doesn't have Haze, then that's going to really cost him. So I 100% expect him to have Recover, Toxic, Scald, and Haze. Like, Ice Beam is still kind of likely, but I would much rather see Ice Beam over like Toxic or Haze, or I guess maybe even Scald. I guess I'm not really sure, but like Scald I think is definitely very spammable in this matchup. So along with Haze, yeah, just Milotic is such a problem, guys. Like, it really is such a problem. I think we're playing sometime tomorrow and it's like super late when I'm recording this, but just Milotic is a giant issue. And even though, yes, we do have Serena, which Serena can realistically 2-hit KO Milotic and beat it 1v1, the issue is that he's got Landorus, he's got Arcanine, Roserade, Metagross, and Crobat. Crobat, I think, has the best matchup along with Landorus in this game. Those 2 Pokemon alone can be absolutely terrifying to face in this battle. Then he has Mimikyu and Mega Gallade for late game to set up and potentially sweep, which could be another huge problem. Manectric, I feel, has a really good matchup this game as well, because with Hidden Power Ice, it can beat our only electric immunity, which is Zygarde, and Hidden Power Ice is going to be doing a really solid chunk of damage to us. His bottom 4 Pokemon, I don't expect the Arcanine and the Umbreon to come, but Roserade and Metagross do have some usefulness in this game. I feel like the top 6 Pokemon are the main things he's going to want to bring. I don't think he would want to bring Manectric and Roserade if he were to choose between them. I believe like Crobat and Milotic along with Landorus, those 3 are the mons that I'm like 90% sure he's gonna bring. I'm like 85% sure he's gonna want to bring Manectric, and then Mimikyu and Gallade, again, late game, are just absolutely terrifying to deal with. So yeah, again, I'm really not confident about this matchup, guys, but we're gonna try and prep as best as we can, and let's go ahead and get this started. So first mod we have here is Child's Play, the Klefki. Yes, you're looking at this correctly. We have Switcheroo Choice Band Klefki. Now, the idea behind this set is to be able to Switcheroo against the Milotic, essentially, because if I'm able to get off the Choice Band on Milotic, it is forced to be locked into only 1 move, which means we can take advantage of that. Of course, the only downside to that is that he has Crobat, which can take advantage of the Choice Band. he's got Landorus that can take advantage of the Choice Band, and then Mega Gallade is not even affected by Switcheroo, so I have to be careful on how exactly I play this Klefki, and I'm really hoping that I can catch the Milotic off guard. A Toxic is really only for the Arcanine, the Umbreon, and I guess a Landorus as well. Thunder Wave really helps against Mega Gallade, the Crobat, and Mimikyu essentially. Then Flash Cannon is just kind of there for stab. And yeah, we're just running a very physically defensive set because this is also kind of our best switch into Crobat just coming in and clicking Brave Bird. So I really am hoping that Klefki can trick its Choice Band onto the Milotic, although I am kind of debating on whether or not I want Choice Scarf. Like, the only issue with Choice Scarf is that it would make Milotic a little bit faster and be able to outspeed one of our threats on our team. So I don't know if I really want to go down that route, but I feel like Choice Band is solid enough, honestly. So moving on to the next team member here, we have Samantha the Scolipede rocking a nice Protect 3 attack Scolipede. I've actually really been enjoying Protect's 3 attack Scolipede. Like, this thing is an absolute monster, man. It just does so much damage, and then late game it comes in and essentially just sweeps. So we are running enough speed to outspeed Mega Gallade before we gain a speed boost, because that could be a little bit crucial. That's actually why we're running Jolly as opposed to Adamant, which I typically like to run Adamant because we're guaranteed that +1 in speed after Protect, and then Scolipede just outspeeds everything at +2 anyways. But between Rock Slide, Mega Horn, and Aqua Tail, we hit absolutely everything for neutral or super effective damage. Aqua Tail, of course, is mainly for the Landorus. Rock Slide is for the Crobat, which are his two best answers to my Scolipede. And then Mega Horn is pretty spammable against the rest of his team. I guess Aqua Tail and Rock Slide also really hit Arcanine, but I honestly don't expect Arcanine to come to this game because it's beat by so much of our team. Zygarde, Deontay, and Vaporeon, and then of course Rock Slide, Power Gem, Infernape gets Earthquake as well, and we can even go special with that, so not really too concerned about Arcanine coming to this match. But if things do kind of go okay, then Scolipede can hopefully come in here late game and lay waste to the remainder of the Oregon Ducklets. So moving on to the next team member here, we have Moody the Sneasel. The great thing about Sneasel in this matchup is that it should in theory be able to beat any variant of Landorus, unless he is running Yachi Berry, which if he's running Yachi Berry, that means he's not Z-Move, which means it's even better for us because non-Z-Move Landorus is not nearly as terrifying as if it was Z-Move. Actually, just because of Sneasel, part of me feels like he may not even want to bring Landorus to this match, but Sneasel outspeeds everything except for Crobat in this battle. He should be running enough speed on his Crobat to outspeed max speed Jolly Sneasel anyways, so we are just speed creeping Mega Gallade if I'm not mistaken, so that would be really nice. Taunt is actually super handy because if he tries to bring in Mimikyu against my Sneasel, thinking, oh, I can live a hit with Disguise, and on Swords Dance, I can immediately taunt Mimikyu, stop it from going for Swords Dance, and then break its Disguise the following turn. Also, Taunt is very handy to be able to stop Milotic from going for Recover once it's gotten really low. So if he thinks he can get a free Recover against my Sneasel with Milotic, once Milotic is low, then I can taunt it, stop it from going for that Recover, and then the next turn go for Knock Off and just try to wear it down even more. So I guess the good thing about Flame Orb Milotic is that it is going to be taking 6% every turn, but even then Flame Orb Marvel Scales Milotic is stupidly bulky, so that may not even be enough for us in this match. But Knockoff is really spammable against his team. Icicle Crash, of course, is our second best stab. Like, between Knockoff and Icicle Crash, there's really nothing else I felt like I needed coverage wise. So yeah, I really felt like Knockoff and Icicle Crash alone were going to be doing more than enough damage to his team, or just helping me get rid of items, scout out for Z moves, or get rid of berries or something along those lines. And then yeah, Ice Shard is just for like Crobat, Scarf Manectric to pick it off, Scarf Roserade, I guess, and then Landorus, and then being able to pick off Gallade if it is weak enough. Although we outspeed Gallade in general, so I'm really not too concerned about the Gallade. I guess unless we are low, and I know he's got Shadow Sneak, but that's a really rare scenario. Like, I don't think he should want to bring Shadow Sneak Mega Gallade this match. That wouldn't make any sense to me, but hey, you never know. So moving on to the next team member here, we have one half of our potential win condition in this game. So the great thing about this set of Vaporeon is that it's literally 100% made to help our Zygarde potentially sweep. Now, I know that seems a little bit odd because he can definitely have Infiltrator Crobat, and then he can have Haze Milotic, but we are going to have those covered once I get to Zygarde. So yeah, we are just running max defense and max HP. In a sense, this is also a bit of a pivot mom to his Mega Gallade, Metagross, Arcanine, Crobat if our Klefki is gone. Same thing for Mimikyu if Klefki is gone. And then it can also kind of switch into Landorus. Did I cover Landorus? Yeah, Mega Gallade, Landorus, Crobat, Mimikyu, and Metagross. So this can pivot switch into them, and with Citrus Barrel we can gain back a little bit of our HP to possibly be able to gain back our Wish and be brought back up to full HP as well. So that could definitely come in handy in certain matchups. Now, I am running actually 29 Speed IVs as opposed to 31 because I want to guarantee being slower than his Umbreon if he does want to bring the Umbreon, because I want to be able to get slow baton passes into Zygarde in order for it to be able to set up and potentially win, because we can go for Aqua Ring, then baton pass into Zygarde here, which is running a pretty awesome set. Like, I don't want to brag, but I thought about the set myself, and the reason why I'm so proud of it is because it's a set that honestly can potentially put in so much work. And if it does put in work, I feel like that'll be a bit of an example of me being able to step up my prep game in certain matchups, because this matchup is just, oh my god, if I had to explain this matchup for the Durham Dragons, it's honestly horseshit. Like, excuse my language, but that is literally what our matchup is going into this game. Like, we don't have a good matchup whatsoever. But if I'm able to baton pass an Aqua Ring into Zygarde and he does not have Ice Beam Milotic, which I really think he's gonna bring Recover Toxic, Ice Beam, and Haze. Like, no, sorry, he's gonna bring Recover, Scald, oh my god, Recover, Scald, Toxic, and Haze. That is the moveset I expect Milotic to bring. Those are the exact 4 moves I think Milotic is going to have to run in this battle. There is a slight chance that he will have the Ice Beam, but that is something I can definitely scout out for. And even then, if he does have the Ice Beam, there is a good chance that we will be able to stall them out because of Spite. For those of you who don't know, Spite gets rid of 4 PP of the recent move that your opponent went for. So my thought is that if I can baton pass an Aqua Ring into Zygarde, I can get up a substitute. We are running enough bulk on the Zygarde to guarantee that Milotic should never break the substitute unless he gets literally gets absolute maximum damage, which is already a very low chance. Like, yeah, he can break our sub with 2 hits, but that extra turn that he takes to break our sub is a turn that we can go for Spite, that we can go for Dragon Dance, or that we can go for 1,000 Arrows. And 1,000 Arrows hits literally everything on his team. Like, not Landorus. Well, yeah, I mean, if we're behind a sub, Landorus isn't a problem, but without a sub, Landorus becomes an issue because he can HP Ice us or get the Intimidate off. But he's got no good switch-ins to 1,000 Arrows. Like, Zygarde alone, if this plan works out, could potentially 1v1 his entire team. So my thought is that if he does want to bring Haze Milotic, it's going to take 12 Hazes to get rid of every single... It's going to take 12 Spites, to get rid of every Haze that he has. So, if it really comes down to it, I will always click Spite as the turn follows up of him going for the Haze. Another thing is that I could also stall him out of recovers, because recover only has 16 PP. So 4, 8, 12, 16, only 4 spites is all it takes to get rid of all of his recovers on Milotic, and then at that point Zygarde can beat Milotic 1v1. Hopefully I will have a Dragon Dance or 2 up, and then from there nothing that he has will be able to comfortably live anything that we want to go for. So we are running exactly enough speed to outspeed max speed Jolly Crobat. If for some reason he does want to bring Jolly max speed, we will outspeed that by 1 point, and then we can hit it with a plus 1000 arrows. We also outspeed everything else unless he's got like Scarf Manectric or Scarf Landorus. Unless we get up to +2, I don't think we do outspeed them, so that could be a little bit of a problem. But I know this seems a little bit gimmicky, baton passing Aqua Ring into sub DD Spite Zygarde, but again, if we can get this to work, I really legitimately feel like we will have a chance to win. Like, this is probably our best chance to try and win this battle, in my opinion. So I'm hoping it works out. I'm hoping it puts in a lot of work, and we'll just see how things go. And even if we do take a loss, I will not at all be upset because of how poor of a matchup we really do have. And moving on to our final team member here, we have Thikarina, aka Serena, making her debut for the Durham Druddigons. And Serena is mainly here to be able to pivot into the Metagross, the Umbreon, potentially Manectric, and the Landorus if I know he doesn't have like Z-Fly or something along those lines. And I think if Crobat is not a choice banded variant, we can actually live 1 Brave Bird from full HP, get off Rocky Helmet chip damage, Brave Bird recoil damage, and then send headbutt damage to possibly knock him out. So that's going to be very, very solid. This is also a really good kind of middle ground switch into the Manectric if he does want to bring that. And just Rocky Helmet in general just punishes so many of his physically offensive mons. Power Whip with 60 attack EVs should always 2 KO Milotic if it really comes down to it. Aromatherapy is going to be amazing because, again, I really expect him to have Toxic on Milotic. So if he tries to Toxic my Serena, I can just get rid of it and still be able to punish the Milotic 1v1 Zen Headbutt. It's just mainly for the Roserade and the Crobat. We are running enough speed to outspeed non-speedy V'd Roserade, if I'm not mistaken, and non-speedy V'd Landorus, which I think is going to be very, very handy in the long run of this battle. So yeah, Serena's just mainly here, kind of like a pivot mon. Can't really gain us momentum, can't really get rid of hazards, and I know that we do not have Stealth Rocks in this game, but you guys have to understand that Infernape does not have a good matchup. Mega Deontay does not have a good matchup either, and I really felt like Necrozma had a poor matchup as well. Like, Necrozma, if anything, had the best matchup of our 3 Stealth Rockers, but the thing is that I feel like I need these 6 Pokemon more than I need Necrozma. Plus, if I'm able to just get rid of the Crobat or get rid of the Manectric, it's going to make things a lot easier for us, because that is a very terrifying Volt Turn core, and if I just get rid of one aspect of it, we should be in a much better scenario. So yeah guys, that is going to be the team builder for week 4 of the PGBL. Please let me know what y'all think about our matchup in the comment section below. With that being said, I'll see y'all tomorrow with the actual battle itself, and hopefully we can pull out a victory with this very, very awesome Zygarde set. So with that being said, I will see you all later. So later, everybody.
No matter where you're at, I'm not here to make friends, it's time to attack and deplete your HP with a final smash. Don't make me turn around and pull a 6-foot hacks. 6 foot hacks, yeah. 6 foot hacks, yeah. 6 foot hacks.